everybody, and welcome to stretching. Today we are going to do stretching for flexibility. So I actually went back and did more research because one of the things I realized is that the attitudes about stretching have changed over the years. I remember a debate going on in the New York Times science section about whether stretching before a workout was a good idea. There was some evidence that it was not. And then they figured out that people it was hurting were sprinters. They were getting their muscles just a little too long. So then they, kind of moved that research around. So I looked up a lot of stuff about stretching this morning. I have the strap with me because I'm going to introduce that as a tool for stretching. Not going to use it right now. But one of the things that everybody agreed on, I looked at Mayo Clinic, I looked at Harvard, I looked at everybody, that your muscles need to be warm before you stretch. Since we're trying to stretch for flexibility and not for cooling down after a workout or getting our muscles back to resting like we're trying to advance our own flexibility, I would like to warm you up first by using some movement. So we're going to start standing up. This is going to be kind of a longer stretch today, probably about 45 minutes. So I hope you can hang in there. Make your knees a little soft, get your head over your tailbone, and let's breathe it up and down. 2 more up. These movements will be soft, and last time up and down. Now just push up and push up, just starting with the upper body. Yeah. So we're going to do dynamic and static stretching. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now go across, sweeping your arms. Very much like the opening to one of our classes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we roll the shoulders back and do demi squats or demi plies at the same time. Good. Now forward. Good. I just want to get everything nice and warm. And there we are. In and back, and swing your hips a little bit forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's kick those legs out. Bring it into sit with bone width apart. Use your arms while you do it. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then we march to get it in the hips and the glutes. Good. So what's the point to stretching for flexibility? Well, of course, we want to be flexible. 8, 7, it also makes us better performers at our exercises. It keeps us safer because we're not popping. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. All right, I hope that works for us. So we're going to start with a bit of a dynamic head to toe, and then we're going to go static head to toe. Now, dynamic, you never pulse in an exercise. You can do flow, right? But pulsing, that's her strength. So you want to make sure that you don't pulse in a stretch. All right, so we're going to start with the neck, which everybody does. I like my hands up my hips. As long as your shoulders are parallel, you put your hands wherever you want. And I'm just going to start by turning and front, turning and front, turning and front. Good. We're staying in dynamic. And then at the end, we're going to add dynamic and static together. 4 more sets. Nice. 3. Good. And again, 2. We're going to work a little deeper, and 1 as we go. Now dropping the left hand, grabbing it with the right. Then you're going to take your head away from that left shoulder. And bring it back up. Other side. Take your head away from that right shoulder. And then bring it back up. And now we're going to take it around, side, center, side, and up. Other side, center, side, and up. First side, and center, side, and up, and side, and center, side, and up, and side, and center, side, and up, side, and center. So one of the best things you can do, first of all, is you're not going to get more flexible. Just keep doing this while I talk by doing this once a week, right? Stretching is something that should be done every day, even just for 5 minutes. Seriously. Soften your knees and roll your shoulders back, especially as you get older and your ligaments and tendons are shorter, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if you can get a yoga practice or a Tai Chi practice, Tai Chi is the best because you don't, all that pressing with your shoulders. 3 and 2 and 1, and then we're going to swing slowly Loosening our torso. Good. Nice. 8. Tai Chi is 7. Is gentle on the joint. 6. Last 5, especially if your shoulder or hip issues. 3. And it also makes you more balanced too. And what's the best benefit? 1, you have to remember those positions, right? Chest side to side, hands on hips, chest side to side. So one of the benefits is the brain work. 4 and 3, because it has a choreography to it, and 1. And then you go one corner, the other corner, back and back, up and up and back, start to the other side, back and back, up and up and back and back. And then we're going to do the hips. We're just going head to toe, hips with dynamic movements. Again, we're mostly in the loosening phase right now. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. And we circle, take it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You go wide. Keep those legs to the front and lunge, lateral lunge. Let's see how. Warming up those hips. Now, if this pops your knee, then you want to stay high and just push the hip up, push the hip up, push the hip up. But it's better to get that glute involved, right? Not that we won't be doing that later. Good. 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then we're bringing it to the center. And now we're going to slow it down a little bit. And then eventually we're going to end up on. All right, head over tailbone. Get your belly button to the spine. Now we're going to take the neck nice and slow. Take the arm across. Guide the head across. Drop that arm. Take a big inhale and exhale. Slow the belly button to the spine while you do everything. Keep your back protected. So if you feel like you're bowing too much in the back, stagger those feet. Right? Good. I'm going to hold you there. Now I want you to take the arm behind the back in a kind of flat across the back. You're reaching your palm is out and you're reaching your fingers to the other side. Breathe into it. You're not coming out of this ever. Then take a big inhale, exhale, bring it up, and let's go to the other side. Bring it over, grab your ear, take it across. And you know, I like the whole ear because that opens up the scalene. You feel this in your shoulder too. Now, one of the things I want you to be very aware of is whether your head's forward or not. We have to keep it over our tailbone, right? Even in motion. So if you fold like that, you get a very awkward cramp. Nice. And then bring it back up. Great job. Now you're going to take the arms down, the hand behind the head at the bottom, and you're going to guide it, not push it, guide it over under your arm. All right, so now we're getting deeper into the cervical curve. And you can like extract these out of this routine for whenever you need to, you're breathing through all this, right? Whenever you need to do a fix while you're working, for instance, and your head is like been too much on the screen, begin. So take the same diagonal. Nice. Hold that belly in. And then bring it back up. Now, when you bring it down to your chest, I want you to feel like you're pushing your head across the room. I want there to be a turtle effect here. Might feel weird. If it hurts, stop. If it feels weird, don't stop. Good. Turtle. Now bring the turtle back in and drop your chin to your chest. You have to kind of figure out a way to not just open up the central vertebrae, but all the ones at the top and bottom of that cervical curve. Right? Now take a big inhale and exhale and bring that head back up. It should feel really different right now. All right, we're going to go right to the shoulders. Take the legs further apart and soften those knees. I'm going to do one shoulder at a time. So the first thing I want to do is just shrug it up and down. Shrug. We're going to do that for 8, 3, so we can have symmetry. 4, 5, 6. So we're opening it up and down. 7 and 8. And then we're going to bring it across. Now you push it to your chest. You don't pull it across, right? You're not pulling it out of the socket, right? So push it to your chest. You just want to have a nice kind of hinge opening right there. Beautiful. Breathe into it. Now you're going to take it up into cactus and move it back a little bit. So it's behind just a little bit. You don't want to, remember, I talk about this all the time. Shoulders are so flexible, they'll do whatever you try to get them to do. And so one of the things we want to do is keep them safe. So they don't know that they're pulling themselves out. All right, bring it back to center and then reach it out. Diagonal reach. You're going to feel the connection here, doing a really nice job. Bring it back to cactus and diagonal down. Okay, these are not stretches we always do because we're not working in this direction, but I'm trying to open up everything in that shoulder to create flexibility. We often circle the tired muscle, you know, from our workouts. Nice. Now release it. Now we're going to roll the shoulder back. Doesn't it feel different from when you usually roll it back? Just a small roll. 4, pull the belly in. 5, 6, everything else stays even. Head over tailbone. And 8, forward. 1, 2, already felt some. 3, 4. So we are going for flexibility. So I'm going to do a lot of reaches like that. 6, 7, and 8. Now, we're going to take it up to our ear, take it back and drop it down. Up to our ear, take it back. I slowed this down because I want you to feel every kind of connection to the chest and to the back. We've got 4 more of these. Nice. 3 more of these. 2 more of these. Oh, this feels so yummy, 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 yummy. All right, let's add the elbow. So it's kind of like choo-choo, right? You have to keep the hand on the wrist. Yeah. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and forward. Choo-choo. Can you just play choo-choo with your kid? 4. Okay. 5. I didn't have toys. 6, 7, and 8. Now, one of the things I want you to check in with, did you stiffen your neck while you're doing that? And then just recoil all the work that you just did with your neck. So I want you to make sure that you're keeping, while you're anchoring the other body parts, are not stiffening up, right? All right, let's do the other side. Shrug up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we take it across, right? Press it to our chest, don't pull it out. Take a nice deep breath. Good. Now we're going to open into that cactus. It goes back. Now don't take it too far back. I don't want you to feel any strain right here, but I do want you to feel a stretch. And I want you to feel like you're getting more stretch than you usually get. Okay. Bring it back to center and send it out to a diagonal. So we want to think that there's all parts of the shoulder, not just the top or the side. That when we do this reach, although we're pushing into the shoulder, we're also stretching the parts of the shoulder that are adjacent and important to its supplemental movement. You don't believe that? He doesn't believe it. All right, bring it back into cactus and take it down. Don't move your body over. Take it down without moving your body over. Palm is facing forward. And release it down. Small roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice job. Now to the ears, slowing it down. 2, soften those knees. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And forward. We're not bending the arm yet. It can be soft, but it shouldn't be bent. 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you stiffening your neck? I don't know. Look around a little bit. And 8. Now bend that elbow. 1, 2, 2, 3. 2. So you roll your hand across from your elbow. 3, 4. There's a lot of traffic in here. 5, 6. I'm gonna be without my mommy. 7 and 8 and forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 6, 7, and 8, and release that down. Now we're going to do a joint shoulder stretch. It's like doing the chest stretch. You put your hands together and then you push them down. Get your head over your tailbone. Almost have your eyes look up while your head is holding itself in its aligned position. Don't lift the arms. And then bring it to the front, and we're going to reverse that by putting the back of the hands together. So whenever you do a big thing on one side, it really is helpful if you do something big on the other side. Now, soften those arms and let's roll those wrists. Now, you're saying, I don't need to be more flexible in my wrists. Why am I using time for this? And then the other way, all of these parts are related. 3, 4. It's just like saying, I don't want healthy feet. 6, 7, and 8. And release it down and let it swing. All right, great. Now we're going to just do a little bit of bicep and tricep. Usually you do those to work out and bring them back to natural length. Because they're not joint, they're muscle inside the joint. There's not going to be a need for a lot of flexibility here. But since we're working these parts, we're going to do that. So one of the things I always talk about, say we take the hand behind the shoulder. Now, a lot of people take it behind the head. And then they push on an open joint. I want you to take it behind the shoulder. You can see how it does the whole area there, and put it, and then push on the muscle, not joint. So if you're pushing on an open elbow, you're potentially creating. And then release it down. I feel very good. And then the other. All right, right behind the shoulder, press on the muscle. It's right below the elbow, not the joint. And again, watch that head from going forward. Whenever we have arms around our head, we sometimes poke through it. Try not to poke through it. Good. And then release that down, let those arms swing. Okay. Beautiful. I like the feeling of the swinging, especially after they've done a lot of great work. And there'll be more work that they're going to do once we're down on the mat. All right, let's go to those hips. We already did some dynamic hip work, and we're going to do a whole lot more when we get down to the mat. But I want to just take the hip, I want to do the hips with a forward fold. So you're going to cross one leg over the other. Yeah, if you can. Now, some people might need something to balance on, and go to halfway fold, and then reach as close as you can to the floor, go to fold. Try to push your chest toward your thighs, and then you will feel not only the hamstring, but you will feel those hips. Come on back up to a halfway fold, then all the way up to the top. Let's wrap the other way. All right, halfway fold. And then all the way down, reaching with your fingertips. If you can't reach the mat, put it on your ankles or top of your feet or your shins. Push your chest toward your thighs. Halfway fold, and then all the way up. Now, some of you may not be able to do this particular one. If you can't do this particular one, I want you to do pigeon on both sides. But for the rest of us, come on down. Try to get your glutes below your hips, and then put your hands together and push with your elbows into those inner thighs. What do you think of this, Brewster? Now, where's your head? It's on your spine, looking at the mat or at your dog. All right, if you're doing pigeon, go to the other side. To your halfway point. All right, reach down with your hands, shoot those hips up to the ceiling, push your chest toward the opening of your body, between your legs, reach, 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 reach. Nice lift. Beautiful. Good. Like this. Hands on the shins, halfway fold, curl all the way up. Woo! Shake that out. You gotta get down to the mat. I got so much for us to do. So we're gonna start lying down and then we're gonna be working our way back up because we're gonna go into a lot of dynamic and static stretches on the ground, and then we're gonna end with yoga inspired poses. So what I'd like you to do first is come on up onto your side. So you're going to come down onto your elbow and put your legs straight out. We're going to start with a quad stretch. And I wanted you to do this down here instead of standing up because I don't want you to be over concerned with balance while you're trying to get the front of that hip stretch. Now, this is a great opportunity. Like I said, I'm going to demo this. It's not important for you to have a strap or a towel. But a lot of physical therapists and others recommend a strap for this, right? Because it lifts us. Not that it makes the bend any stronger, but it lifts our body more. Make sure that bottom leg is stretched. Good. Beautiful job. Just keep doing it. Breathe into it. I don't know if my buddy is chewing his paw today. I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to bring the leg around to the front. Now, this is another push into the hip bone. So you get that parallel. And you push into that thigh. Now you feel it in the glute. If you have sciatica or a piriformis syndrome, you're going to feel that as a kind of nod to what you have there. Don't let the foot tilt at this moment. Just push into it. Now, I know that we talked about in the past that 22 seconds is the minimum you should hold stretch, but we're moving through them today because we keep repeating a lot of the same body parts. When you extract these for your own purposes to, when you're working out or whatever, try to hold them longer. Okay, tuck that leg under. We're going to start with a standing leg hug right here and lift our bodies up. So lift up, lift up, lift up. Now, whenever we get into these positions, if they are difficult for you, I recommend you go into seated butterfly, okay? Bottom of your feet together. All right, we are going to take it into shoelace. So you're going to grab each ankle and pull yourself up. Try to feel both glutes on the ground. Now we're going to fold forward. Put your hands in front of you. Try to bring your chest as low as you can. Then take a big inhale and exhale, bring yourself up, and then half lotus. So again, go into seated butterfly if you cannot stack one leg on top of the other. The leg we've had crossed over is the one that we're doing. Putting your hands at your side, take it to a halfway so that your head is shooting toward corner of the room, that where the ceiling and the wall meet. First, that's where you're going to stay. And again, especially if you have piriformis syndrome or sciatica, you will feel this as uncomfortable, probably not painful, but as uncomfortable. And then if you can get your elbows down in front of you, that would be great. Or at least try it. Now put your fingertips into the mat and push yourself up. We're going to do that same routine on the other side. Now again, you could do the quad stretch with or without the strap. Bring it behind. Getting, that when you pull your belly button to your spine, the stretch gets longer, right? Notice that? So let's do that. Keeping everything else lifted and aligned. You don't have to stiffen anything. You want to have flow. You don't want to lose all that stretching that we've done before. But you want to make sure you don't throw your body out of alignment. How would you do that? All right, take it front. And it's a push. Beautiful. Push, push, push. All right, tuck that leg behind. Come up. We're going to do the hug first. Big hug, lift. You make sure you're lifting off your sit bones. You're not dropping down at any way, shape, or form. Then shoelace. Pull that leg across. Grab it by the ankles. Lift yourself up to begin. And then hinge over right here. And big inhale and exhale, curl yourself up, half lotus, hands at the side. Just a halfway bend, head is toward the corner of the room. Just feeling the head to toe, head to tailbone, being now elbows to the front. And of course, one side is different from the other. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Put your fingertips into the mat and push yourself up. That was fun. I like that routine. We're going down onto our backs. Now, the down onto our backs is going to be very familiar, but I want to throw some angles in here. So I'm going to suggest if you have a strap, use a strap. You can definitely use your hand or you can wrap a towel around, but it helps mobility of the angles a little bit more if you have a strap. So I'm going to strap up before I go. Strap is probably one of the best things you can have around because whenever you have a weak body part, especially on the bottom body part, mostly on the bottom body part, and you want to still move it, not that you would force it with your strap, you would assist it with the strap. So that's one of the things I recommend you get. All right, curl yourself all the way down. Separate the glutes from the rib cage. We're going to take one leg up, right, straight up, and we're going to flex and point, and flex and point. Flex and point, just straight up, flex and point. The other leg is foot on the ground, knee to the ceiling, flex and point. Now rotate that foot around 4 times, 2, 3, might not throw in some foot stuff. You know, I did foot massage and wanted to take a break exercise, 3, 4. Now take it to the flex and turn it out. Feel that hamstring saying, oh, I'm having so much fun in this turnout, yay. And then take it in. Keeping that flex, you can feel that on the outside of the knee. So we know we're getting some goodies for the knee. Bring it back to the center and point it and take it to the turnout to the outside. And take it, turn out on the inside. Bring it back to center, slide the other leg out into a flex. We're going to use, this is my right leg. I'm going to slip this up here. We're going to use my right hand on my right leg, choking up on the strap and bringing it down, straight down in that parallel position. So we're not shifting it yet. All right, so we're going to hold it and breathe. Nod your chin down, make sure everything else is in nice, sweet alignment. Now we're going to take it over the right shoulder. So it's an angle now. One of the things we know is they're not straight lines. We have round parts, so we need to do things in different positions. When you do this, keep that glute down. Don't let it fly off, right? Bring it back to center. Bring your other hand over, and then across over to the left. Now, you can feel a lot in the hamstring. Don't forget that bottom leg is flexed. You can feel a lot in the hamstring. And again, if it's sore, try to distinguish between sore and uncomfortable. Comfortable just means some good stuff is happening. Okay? All right, bring it back to center. Back it to the right hand and out to the side. Only as far as you can go that the glute doesn't come off. Now I'm going to pull it toward your head. And the rest of your body feels in line, but also comfortable. Now bend that knee and then bring it up. We're going to release the strap and do half happy baby pose, bringing it down. Now I want you to take the knee up on the other side and drop it out. So we also get groin stretch here. So how do we know that this makes us more flexible? Well, at the end of one stretch, put our legs together and that leg is longer. Leg that we stretch this morning. So that's how we know. So we better even those out. So let me go to the other side. I'm going to strap up first. Again, we don't need to strap up at all. All right, we're going to start with point and flex and point. Now make it all the way. Flex. These aren't gentle. These are stretches and flex. I just like activating or stretching. Good. Perfect. Now hold that flex and take it to turn out. Get that knee action there. It's always good if you can stretch your knee with the whole leg rather than do some of those stretches that really isolate, because the knee is all those tangling parts that we like. All right, take it to a turn in that we know we can really mess up. So if you have supportive leg while you're stretching the knee, that's the best. Now, of course, if you're guided by a physical therapist, whatever, bring it back to center and point and take it to the turn out. And then go the complete opposite way. Take it to that turnout. Beautiful. Bring it to center, rotate the foot 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. And then reverse. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Choke up on it. We bring it down and we breathe into it. Keeping pushing that leg out to flex. Sorry, the bottom leg goes out to flex. We bring that top leg into this nice decline. Now, you can probably looking, having your eyes where they belong, not looking at the screen, good for you. But if you were looking at the screen, you would see that this leg does not go as far as my other leg. All right, take it over the left shoulder. Honestly. Sitting big one and everyday stretching outside your, and grab it with the opposite hand and take it over to that shoulder. Your body tells you what it needs, doesn't it? And then bring it back to center. Oh, take it out to the side. Sorry, I almost forgot. Take it out to the side. Don't let yourself lift. Bring it up. Breathe into it. Now we're going to draw the non-working leg in. Bring this up. That's happy baby pose. Let that knee drop out on the other side. So get some fabulous groin work. Strap on like this. Big love, happy baby. Okay, put the feet down and then bring yourself up into a bridge. Just to do some reverse step lifting here. We've been pushing on them by moving our legs. And it doesn't hurt, even though it's like, oh, that's not much of a stretch. That's kind of a body's exercise. But glute exercises actually does stretch out in front of your hips. So whenever you need a reverse stretch, reverse tabletop or bridge is your go-to work. We're going to lower down, let your legs fall out to butterfly. Good. belly button to spine, pull all the way up. Now you're putting your hands at your side. We're going to get up in butterfly and come to the front. All right, pulling on the ankles and pull yourself. All right, let's take it to our straddle. I want you to understand, of course, that we have to be on our sit bones to get what we need to do here. So if you need to bend your knees, that's not a big deal. Those hamstrings are getting all the love they need. First thing I want you to do is put your hand in front paw. So we're activating our straddle position. We love it. Good. I'll put it behind it. All right, center, arms are out, lift up, and you're going to swipe across for 4 seconds. Just getting ourselves into this position. This isn't necessarily, a stretch that we need for the workout, but it helps us get into this position. All right, arm over the ear. The bottom arm is soft and bending. We are curling down. We're curling our hip, our rib cage to our hip. Keeping our head on our spine, the rolling forward is going to defeat this particular stretch, and falling back is going to hurt your lumbar. So we want to stay lifted over that those seconds, right? Then we're landing that curl onto the opposite leg and coming across. Then we're bringing both arms up and rotating toward the other leg and bringing ourselves down. So this is a flow. Even though I'm stopping at every position, it's the, if you extract this flow, and I'm going to do the other side here in a second, I recommend you do it about 4 times. Right? So then we're going to bring ourselves up and curl down to the other side. And then land it on the opposite leg. Make sure you don't. So your eyes are looking over there, right? Not at the camera. Make sure that you don't fall forward. Then lift up and turn and bring it down. And then bring yourself up, and we're curling down. It's so very familiar to my regulars. Walking ourselves forward, long back. And of course, we build our hamstrings, our adductors, and our abductors. Put your fingertips into the floor, raise your arms off the floor, curl your back up. And bring yourself to lift. Now, we can do a million things in this position, as you know, but we're going to move on to give our back a little bit of love. All right, I would like you to come face down and pull your feet behind you. Face is down. Elbows are beside your waist. Belly button is the spine. And you're going to push up into a half cobra, holding the belly all the way in, dropping the shoulders away from your ears, and then lower back down. Take a nice deep breath. One more time with the half cobra. Half. This creates a big long line down your rectus spinae. Right? Keep your head on your spine. Don't turn your head toward the camera. And then the screen, and bring it all the way down. And full cobra. There we go. Take on with your hips. Nice long arms. Your eyes head on the floor. Don't push your head against your neck. And then bring it all the way down. And then all the way up again. Now, I'd like you to walk one hand forward. And then bring it back. Walk the other hand forward. And bring it back. Keep them forward of your chest. Bend those elbows. Bring it all the way down. Nice. You're going to Put your legs together nice and tightly. You're going to push into child pose. This is a parallel child pose. Going back onto your legs. Now, the reason we're doing parallel instead of open, you're walking them to one side and then pushing away from those hands. You can feel lat opening here. Bring it back to center, sit back. Walk into the other side. And then back to center. Then take the arms back beside your thighs or by your legs. You're reaching to your feet. Curl into your snail right here. Let your body curl around those legs. Almost get passive here, like gravity curling around. And then put your hands under your shoulders and bring yourself up to tabletop. All right. So inhale, bottom and chin up. Exhale, curl up like a feet. We want to get fluidity in here. Make sure your knees are under your hips. Your hands are under your shoulders. Curl up like that. So you're opening that chest. Your shoulder blades together. Closing that chest. Shoulder blades apart. Good. Open that chest. And closing that chest. Reaching one hand forward, putting the fingertips into the mat. Just hold it right there as you close that chest and open that chest. Close that chest and open that chest. Slide it in. Put the other one forward. Inhale, then exhale. Open the back. Close. And then bring it back to the center. Nice job. Then you're going to slide into pigeon. One leg forward, the other one all the way back. Keep it nice and high. Make sure your hips are parallel to the floor. Flatten the feet up. And then bring yourself down on stacked arms. And push up. We're going to go right over to the other side. And lift up. Some people put blocks under their hips. I think blocks are a little bit high to get their hips parallel. So if you need to put something under a folded towel, might even be better. Or a pillow this size right here. With. All right, you're up, lift it up. And then you're coming down on your spine. Okay, hands into the mat. Bring yourself to tabletop and then into your downward facing dog. Let's lift into that very, very high stretch right here. All right, you're going to take one leg behind you. Then bend the heel toward the glute. Take the knee out. Lift that knee as high as you can. Extend that leg behind you for stacked hips. You can do upper there. Keep your arms long. And then you're going to take those hands between those, or take that foot between those hands, and then come up into your first high lunge. Rotating that back leg. Shift it so that you're parallel. Make sure your knee is over your ankle and you are in the warrior two. Good. As you all know, I believe this is the best position on the planet. Over toward that back leg. Curl that arm over the top of your ear. It's not a stiff arm here. And then we are going down, all the way down again. You might need a block to open up to this position. Bring yourself back to your warrior, put the back or the front foot forward. We're going to hinge over, reaching our hands out to our ankles rather than through the center to open up on each side. Walk your hands over to the other side of the mat and then back into your downward facing dog. I always like to realign when I get back into position when I pull something out of position. All right, leg is behind you. Fold it, turn it, extend it behind, and then if you can reach with your toes, go for it. And then we are at lunge. I flopped into that one right here. Good job, head over tailbone. Both feet are facing forward. Watch the rotations. And then you are in, make sure you position them. Heels facing the instep of the back leg. You are here. Nice and low. Give me a book, I'll just read it right here. And then come. Curled, right? So we're pushing the rib cage toward the hips. And here we go down, straight arms, looking up. Try not to fold out. Back to your warrior right here. Lowering, lowering, lowering. Push that foot in. Now we're going to take our chest over to that leg. Getting a nice oblique turn. Now, put your hand on near the foot, and the other hand goes up into a rotation. 4 obliques. Bring the hand down. Walk it across. First, let it stretch over here. And simple stretch right here. Open up. And we're back to the center with our arms on our hands on each ankle. Hands on each ankle. Then bring them to the center and heel toe in. To sit bone width apart. Rest your chest on your thigh right here. And then slide it up. Rocking your shoulders away from your ears. Head over tailbone. Do some hip rotations, some other rotations, and then I'll let you go. I've kept you here for a long time. Take it out. 1, 2, 3. And you can hold on to something if you need to. 6, 7, and 8. The foot is just neutral. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Set down. Get yourself aligned. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Turn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 6, 7, and 8. Keep those legs out. Perfect. Keep those shoulders down. Keep that head over that tailbone, and get a little wider leg. Wiggle around. You should feel wiggly, and then wash and just throw it around. Feels good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High. Come to the center. Breathe it up and down. 2 more. Up and down. Last time. Up and down again. If you can stretch every day, even for 5 minutes, it will help your body gain flexibility. You won't see it right away because it's cumulative, of course. So everything that we did long, we're going to short today by using our muscles and so on. But we can also do a little bit of like 10 minutes of yoga before the bed. Everything will be cool. Do the best you can. Just try not to put yourself in compromised positions, crossing your legs a lot or having yourself in the car too long without getting up. So I hope you enjoyed this Stretching for Flexibility Day. I like stretching for anything. See you next time.